Hello student, I am Swarajan, contract lecturer in ECU, GPT, Nizamabad. So let us recollect what are the topics we are discussed in the last lecture. That is one, construction and working of full wave rectifier, RMS value of full wave rectifier, average value of output current, ripple factor of full wave rectifier, efficiency of full wave rectifier, advantages and disadvantages of full wave rectifier. So whatever the topics were discussed about the full wave rectifier is, that is only for the center tapped full wave rectifier. So in the construction and working of full wave rectifier, it consists of two diodes that compared to the half wave rectifier, and one transformer and two diodes and one load resistance. So this load resistance is connected across the secondary of the transformer in the center tapped mode. So here, during the positive half cycle, the diode P1 will be conduct and the current will be flows through the diode and load resistance into the transformer secondary winding with respect to the ground. And during the negative half cycle, the diode D2 will be conducts and the current will be flows through the RL diode and secondary winding of the lower lower center tapped windings. So here compared to the half wave rectifier. So during the positive and negative half cycles, both the diodes will be conduct. So we will get the entire cycles and the continuation. So we will get the compared to half wave rectifier, we get the less ripples and more value of DC component is present in the output compared to the half wave rectifier. So the RMS value of full wave rectifier, we find that IRMS is equal to Im by root 2, and the average value of output current, that is the twice of that half wave rectifier output current and output voltage, that is DC current and DC voltage. So we discussed that one, that is IDC is equal to 2 Vm by 5 and VDC is equal to 2 Vm by 5. And the ripple factor of full wave rectifier is very less compared to the half wave rectifier, which is reduces the ripples present in the output of the DC output of the full wave rectifier. That is, ripple factor of the full wave rectifier is 0.48, and the rectifier efficiency of the full wave rectifier of the center tapped full wave rectifier, which is defined as the output power to the input power. Output power is the DC power and the input power is the AC power. That is, output is DC power to the ratio of output DC power to the input AC power. So we are having the efficiency is doubles the compared to the it is twice of that half wave rectifier, which is having 81.06 percentage, and the peak inverse voltage of the uh, center tapped full wave rectifier is also twice of that uh, half wave rectifier, which is having 2 Vm. Why? Because it is due to that both the diodes we are considering, and these are the topics we are discussed in the last lecture. So let us discuss on completion of this period. You would be able to know about the construction and working of bridge rectifier and advantages, disadvantages of bridge rectifier, and the values we have to find out for the bridge rectifiers efficiency, IDC, DC power, and VIRMS. Similarly, we have to find out for the bridge rectifier also. So here, the construction and working of bridge rectifier. Let us take this is the circuit of the bridge rectifier. It consists of mainly it consists of three parts. One is transformers, and this one is the four diodes and load resistance. So here, these four diodes are connected in the shape of bridge. So that's why its name call it as a bridge rectifier. So compared to this center tapped full wave rectifiers, there is no need to use the center tapped transformer. Here it is normal transformer will be using here it is. So there is no need to use the center tap transformer here in where it is service. So so this full wave operation by using this circuit we can be full wave operation can be obtained even without the center tap transformer in the bridge rectifiers. So it contains of four diodes D1, D2, D3, D4 are connected to form a bridge. So alternating voltage is applied to the diagonally opposite ends of the bridge. So here this output input voltage, alternating voltage, whatever you are applying, this voltage is applied to the diagonally diodes of the two diode end of the bridge. This is 2 bits and the output is taken across these two ends of the bridge. So the load resistor is connected across the other end of these two bridges which is to take the output. That is output is we are taking across the load resistance. So here we have discussed this one is a bridge type full wave rectifier circuit is shown in figure E. So it consists of four diodes D1, D2, D3 and D4 connected in Wheatstone bridge form. So this is construction is looking like the Wheatstone bridge which is we are using to measure for the resistance. Whether we discuss the topic is bridges. To one diagonal of the bridge, the AC voltage is applied through a transformer. To one diagonal of these grids, this is one diagonal and this. So to these diagonals, the AC input voltage is applied through the transformer. See here, whatever this AC voltage, that is a 230 volts 58 single phase AC supplies or the main supply, that is applied to the primary of the transformer. So at the secondary of the transformer is also we are having that output is AC only. This AC input output voltage of the secondary transformer is applied to this rectifier. So this rectifies the AC voltage and you will get that the output is DC. So here to one diagonal of the bridge, the AC voltage is applied through a transformer and the rectified DC voltage is taken across the other diagonal of the bridge. So the rectified DC voltage will be taken across this diagonal. To these diagonals, we are applying the input through this transformer, that is, and another diagonal, we are taking the output. So to overcome the few drawbacks of center tapped full wave rectifier, a bridge full wave rectifier is used. So we have to overcome the drawback of this center tapped full wave rectifier. We are going to use the bridge full wave rectifiers. The most commonly used rectifier by electronic DC power supply is a bridge type full wave rectifier. So half wave rectifier will not be used. Why? Because it consists of 121% of ripples in the output. So we'll not use that one. Efficiency is very low and it can stay peak inverse voltage is also very less. So will not be used compared to the center tap full wave rectifiers. Even though its efficiency is increases and ripple factor is also be reduces, but due to this center tap transformers, we will not be use that one. So that is can be so most of the time in our electronic circuits, the bridge rectifier only will be used. So let us discuss the working of the this bridge full wave rectifier. So during the positive half cycle of AC input voltage, end A is positive with respect to end B. So in this diagram, so let us write the annotation. Let's do the So during this positive half cycle, this end A is positive with respect to this end B. Sorry, this end B is negative. And B is negative. So this positive means here this diode will D1 will become positive and this will become positive and this become negative and this negative and this diode will become positive and this Due to this negative potential, this become negative and this negative and this will become positive. Okay. So here this diode D1, this anode potential of D4 is negative and D1 is positive, and the anode potential of D2 is negative and D3 will be positive. So during the positive half cycle, this transformer secondary winding at the end is positive with respect to the end B. So this potential will be appear across these diodes. So this diode D1 will be conducts. Okay, this diode D1 will be conduct. It will be act as a short circuit and forward bias, and diode D3 will be conduct. So this diode D3 will be in the forward bias. But whereas in the D4 and D2 will be reverse bias. So these two diodes will be in the reverse bias, means it will be open circuit. So the current will be flows through these bridge circuits from transformer end A to diode D1 through RL and through diode D3 and up to end B of the transformer. So this is the direction of the current flow through this circuit during the positive half cycle of the AC input voltage. So from the A to diode D1 through the load resistance and through the diode D3 and to the end of B. So this is the current direction of the current flowing. So here in the case 1, during the positive half cycle of AC input voltage, end A is positive with respect to end B. This makes diode D1 and D3 are forward biased and D2 and D4 are reverse biased. Therefore, the diodes D1 and D3 are conducting and the diodes D2 and D4 are non-conducting. Okay, thus the current flows to the secondary winding and diode D1 through the load resistors RL and the diode D3 as shown in figure. So that is I have drawn in this circuit. That is the current flowing of this one. So here it is. So this is the direction of current through the transformer secondary winding D3 load resistance and D3 D1 D3 and B. So these are open circuits, so the current will not be flows through this. Thus the current flow through the secondary winding D1, load resistance RL and diode D3 as shown in figure. So you will get the output is like this. During the positive, suppose if it is your input voltage like this, you are applying a sinusoidal wave, just assume that one, then you will get the output voltage is only so output voltage is during positive cycle, that is due to D1 and D3. This is due to D1 and D3. Otherwise, case 2. During the negative half cycle of AC input voltage, terminal B is positive with respect to A. So this makes diode D2 and D4 are forward biased and D1, D3 are reverse biased. So in the circuit diagram, if it is a positive negative supply, then here it is also the same position, the same input will be appear it is. So this B will be positive with respect to A. Here this B is positive with respect to A. So here the potentials of appear, that is D1 is a positive, negative and plus. So here it is negative and plus, and here it is positive, negative. and here it is positive and negative. So during the negative half cycle, this diode anode D1 anode potential is negative and D3 anode potential is negative. But whereas D4 and D2 anode potentials are positive. So these two diodes will be conducts forward bias. So these two diodes will be conducts and D1 and D3 will be reverse bias. So those two diodes will not be conduct. Open circuits. So the current direction will be flows through this one is. So the current direction will be flows in this direction is through this V D2 load resistance and D4 and through the end A like this. This is the direction of the current flow. So case 2. During the negative half cycle of AC input voltage, terminal B is positive with respect to A. This makes diode D2 and D4 are forward biased and D1 and D3 are reverse biased. Therefore, the diodes D2 and D4 are conducting and the diodes D1 and D3 are non-conducting. That's I have shown in the diagram. Thus, the current flows to the secondary winding and diode D2 load resistance and diode D4 as shown in the diagram. Just now what the flowing of the current direction is I have drawn. So let us discuss the case 3. So during the positive half cycle we are getting the one D1 and D3 due to the D3 we are getting the positive cycle and D2 and D3 also we are getting the D2 and D4 also we are getting the output. So from the case 3 from the figure 5.2f. So this one is the figure F. So during the so this one during the positive off cycle. So from 0 to pi and 2 pi to 3 pi, that is a positive half cycle. During this positive half cycle, diode D1 and D3 will be conduct. So the output of these two diodes is maximum peak amplitude voltage and this also. And during the negative half cycle, that is pi to 2 pi and 3 pi to 4 pi, diodes D2 and D4 are conducting. So you will get the output is similarly like this. So the combination of this total output is exactly the full wave center tapped full wave rectifier output. So this is the total output which we are getting in the bridge full wave rectifier. So from the figure 5.2F, it may be seen that the current in the load resistor RL is in the same direction for the both the half cycles of AC input voltage. Therefore, the DC is obtained across the load resistance RL. So here we are taking that output is across the load resistance. So during the positive half cycle, the current will be flow through the resistance RL. And during the negative half cycle also the current flowing through the resistor RL. So during this entire cycle, we will take the sum of these currents in the load resistance. So that is the here the output is shown. So let us discuss this is the working of full wave bridge rectifier. So we have to discuss what is the ripple factor and IRMS, IDC. We have to discuss about the rectifier. So ripple factor of this one, you have to know first one is, first before going to discuss this ripple factors, the derivation for bridge full wave rectifier is same as that of center tap full wave rectifier circuit, except Im is equal to Vm by 2Rf plus RL. Why? Because here yes, so the only modification is that instead of RF, which is forward resistance of each diode, the term 2RF appears in the denominator. The remaining expressions are identical to those derived from center tap full wave rectifier and reproduced for the convenience of for the readers. So here, why we are taking this as a 2RF? Here we are taking the V is called Vm into sin theta. That is AC voltage to be rectified, and RF is the RF and RL be the diode resistance and load resistance of the circuit. The rectifier will conduct current through the load in the same direction for both the half cycle of AC input voltage. So the current through the diode is load resistance is given by. So the current through the RL is given by I is equal to Im sin theta. Im is equal to we have Im is equal to Vm by RF plus RL. For center tapped full wave rectifiers we are having Im is equal to Vm by RF plus RL. But whereas for the bridge rectifier, we have the Vm by 2RF plus RL. So before going to this one, so what is the average current? Im is equal to Vm by 2RF plus 2RL. So IRMS is equal to similar definition derivations whatever we have discussed in the uh, center tapped full wave rectifiers. IRMS is equal to 1 by pi integral of 0 pi to uh, I square d theta and whole square root. So that is 1 Im square by pi into integral of 0 pi to 0 to pi 1 minus cos 2 theta by 2 into d theta. So sin cos 2 theta is integral is sin 2 theta, that is will become 0 and you will get the Im by root 2. So that is why whatever we discussed in the full wave center tapped full wave rectifier. So what is the IDC? IDC is also a similarly same equation, that is I 1 by pi into 0 to pi integral of I d theta. So I is equal to Im into sin theta d theta. So Im by pi into minus cos theta integral 0 to pi. Limit is 0 to pi. So you will get IDC is equal to 2 Im by pi. Similarly, the DC power output PDC is equal to I square DC into RL. So you will get 2 Im by pi into RL. So the same VDC is equal to 2 Vm by pi. And the rectifier output AC input power, DC output power by AC input power. So DC output is PDC is equal to IDC square into RL, and AC input power is equal to I square RMS into RF plus RL. So either here you can take the 2 RF plus RL. So you will get the efficiency of the full wave bridge rectifier is 81.2 percentage. Okay. The maximum efficiency of the full wave rectification is 81.2 percentage. So, and this ripple factor, the smoothness of the output DC signal is measured by a factor known as the ripple factor. The output DC signal with few ripples is considered a smooth DC signal, while the output with high ripples is considered as a high pulsating DC signal. So, the output DC signal with few ripples is considered as a smooth DC signals, while the output with high ripples is considered as a high pulsating DC signals. That is already AC component is present in that one. High ripples means more AC. Mathematically, the ripple factor is defined as a ratio of the voltage to the pure DC voltage. So we have the IRMS by IDC or the VRMS by VDC. So the ripple factor for a bridge rectifier is given by, so this is the equation. So this it is also the same as for bridge rectifier, the ripple factor is 0.48. So whatever we are having for the center tapped full wave rectifier is also that is a 0.48. So here the same derivation, same equation for all the equations. There will be no changes in the center tapped and full wave, center tapped full wave and bridge full wave rectifiers. Only the change is that is Im is equal to Vm by R2 RF plus RL. So that is only the equations we have changed in that one. So remaining all are same. There will be no changes. So let us discuss the DC these parameters. DC are the average value of output current. IDC is equal to 2M by pi. IRMS is equal to IM by root 2. Similarly, center tap and AC input power PAC is equal to, so PAC is equal to IRMS square into RF plus RL. That is, actually we are having IRMS square by into RF plus RL. So here IRMS is equal to IM by root 2. So IM by root 2 whole square into 2 RF plus RL. So that is IRMS, IM by root 2 means IM square by 2. So 2 RF plus RL. So rectifier efficiency is equal to PAC by PDC. So this PDC AC input power is called PDC. PDC is equal to this one IDC square by RL. IDC means 2 Im by pi. So 2 Im by pi means 4 Im square by pi square into RL. So this rectifier efficiency is DC output power. This AC output power divided by AC input power. So by dividing this equation, you will get Im square will be cancelled, and 2 means 4 into, you will get 2. 2 by pi square into, you take the RL is common term, 2 RF by RL. So RF by RL is much less than 1. So you will get 81.06 percentage. Similarly, center tap. And the ripple factor is same IRMS by IDC, square root of IRMS square by IDC square into minus 1. So we will get 0.48. And the peak inverse voltage of each diode is, so here we are getting peak inverse voltage of each diode is, we are getting Vm only, whereas in the center tap full wave rectifier it is 2 Vm. So what is the difference of this center tap and full wave rectifier? That is peak inverse voltage is changes. So why? Because means for each and every diodes it is having 2 diodes will be conducting. So then one for one half cycle it is 2 Vm, another half cycle is also Vm. So we will get, that is 2 Vm only. So let us discuss the advantages and disadvantages of bridge full wave rectifier. So in the peak inverse voltage, first let us recall the why it is Vm. So referring to this figure, referring to our figure diagram, this one, when NDA is positive with diode, when NDA is positive, the diode D1 and D3 is conducts, whereas diode D2 and D4 does not conduct. By studying the circuit, by studying the circuits A, D1, D2, B. This is the path A, D1, D2, DB. It is easy to see that whole of the secondary windings applied to the reverse direction across D2. So here we are applying across the D2 is the reverse bias. In the same way, the whole secondary voltage appears across D4. Across the D4 is same action. So its result for diode D1 and D3 will when NCA is negative. And similarly, when A is negative, the same operation will be occur at the D1 and D3. Hence, the peak inverse voltage of each diode is equal to the maximum secondary voltage. So, what is the maximum secondary voltage here? It is Vm only. So, that is peak inverse voltage of bridge full wave rectifier is Vm only. So, let us discuss the advantages and disadvantages of bridge rectifier, bridge full wave rectifier. So the transformer with center tap in secondary is not required. So here it is a secondary, center tap secondary transformer is not required. This leads to the reduction in the cost and weight. So the cost will be decreases and weight will be also be changes, decreases. the peak inverse voltage rating is 1/2 of the center tap diode. So here that is peak inverse voltage is reduced. So smaller and cheaper diodes can be used. So we can be use the smaller and cheaper diodes we can be used in the bridge full wave rectifier. So that's why we will prefer more in the electronic circuits is the bridge rectifiers. And the disadvantages of bridge type full wave rectifier. The only disadvantage of bridge type rectifier is it requires 4 diodes as compared to center tap full wave rectifier. So it requires only the disadvantages, it requires number of diodes is increased, that is 4. So let us compare the half wave and full wave center tap bridge rectifiers. So here we have the number of parameters, number of diodes. So the first one is number of diodes. In the half wave rectifier it is only 1. In the center tap full wave rectifier it is 2. In the bridge type full wave rectifier is 4. So in the half wave rectifier, necessity of transformer, it's not necessary. In the center tap full wave rectifier, it is necessary. And the bridge type full wave rectifier, it is not necessary. Even though we have shown the transformer, it is not necessary in the half wave and bridge types. But most of the time it will be used. Why? Because without to get, we should avoid the human electronic shocks. So to overcome that thing, we'll use the transformers. IDC, IM by pi, 2 IM by pi, 2 IM by pi. So in this IDC is both are equal in the center tap and full wave rectifiers, which is doubles the half wave rectifier. Rise of the half wave rectifiers. And VDC is also similarly VM by pi, 2 VM by pi, 2 VM by pi. IRMS is IM by 2, IM by root 2, IM by root 2. So in the center tap and full bridge rectifiers are equal. Both are the values are same. Maximum most of the time all the values are equal in the center tap and bridge type full wave rectifiers. Only peak inverse voltage and IM will be changes. Efficiency in the half wave rectifier is 40.6 percentage. In the center tap it is 81.06 percentage, and this full wave bridge rectifier it is 81.65. And the ripple factor in the half wave it is 1.25, and then center tap 0.482 and the bridge 0.48. Ripple frequency in the half wave it is F, in the center tap 2F, and the bridge is also it is 2F. Peak inverse voltage in the half wave VM, center tap 2 VM, and the bridge VM only. Voltage regulation, that is RF by RL, RF by RL, but whereas in the bridges it is 2 RF by RL. In the cost is half wave rectifier is low, center tap is costly, and bridge is less costly. Why? Because here we are using the center tap, means that is requires the most cost. And use half wave rectifier we are using in the simple circuits, where the center tap used in the low voltage high current DC power supply circuits, and whereas bridge used in high voltage low current DC power supplies. So that is the difference between center tap and bridge used in low voltage high current DC power, whereas in the bridge high voltage low current DC power supply circuits. So these are the comparisons of half wave, full wave rectifiers with respect to center tap and bridge rectifiers. So here the summary of this lecture. Today we discussed the construction and working of bridge rectifier, advantages and disadvantages of bridge rectifiers. So compared to half wave, center tap and full wave bridge rectifiers we have discussed. So most of the time all the components or all the parameters are equal to the center tap of the full wave rectifier with in the bridge rectifiers. Only the changes is peak inverse voltage VM and the maximum IM current, that is IM current is VM by 2 RF plus RL. So why? Because we are taking the 2 RF means the current is flowing in the through the load resistances in the both the direction of the input cycle inputs. So that's why we are taking the forward resistance of the diode is the sum of these two inputs. So you will take consider it as a 2 RF. So Here we have discussed about these two topics, that is construction and working of bridge rectifier, advantages and disadvantages of bridge rectifier. So the what the frequently asked questions belongs to this bridge rectifier is explain the construction and working of bridge rectifier, compare half wave rectifier and full wave rectifiers. That is full wave, only the full wave rectifier means you have to compare center tap, bridge and half wave. Three rectifiers we should be compared. Give the advantages and disadvantages of bridge rectifiers. So these are the questions, they may be occurred in your exam point of view, and they simply maybe chance have the construction derive the expression for the IRMS, IDC, PDC, PAC, efficiency. There may be chance to have the direct questions on this one. Let us discuss some simple quiz questions on this one. Ripple factor of full wave bridge rectifier is, it is equivalent of center tap. That is, we have the four options, that is 1.414. This option is not ever discussed here. It is 1.212, 0.482, 1.3. So option A and B are not occurred in our discussions. So only this option B and option C is occurred. That option B is the half wave rectifier. So the 0.482 is our answer C. So next question is, if the input frequency is 50 Hz, then the ripple frequency of bridge full wave rectifier will be equal to. So we discussed that means the ripple frequency is the twice of that input signal frequency. So here the input frequency is 50 Hz. Then the ripple frequency is 2 into 50. Then you will get the 100 Hz. So among these four options, you have the answer is D. So next one is the efficiency of the bridge full wave rectifier is. So in these four options, only we are discussed in the half wave and bridge rectifiers and full wave center tap. So that is one is 81.2%, 40.6% is appear, but 50 and 40.3% is not occurred at any rectifiers. So in this one, 40.6% is the efficiency is the half wave rectifiers. So obviously this 81.2% is our efficiency of the bridge full wave rectifier. And the number of diodes used in a full wave rectifier is full wave bridge rectifier. It is 4. The answer is C. In the half wave, we are using only one diode, and center tap we are using two diodes. So the DC average current of bridge full wave rectifier is IM is equal to. So here IM is, where IM is the maximum peak current of input. IDC, that is IDC is equal, that is equivalent of center tap. DC average current of, here the question is DC average current means nothing but IDC. So IDC is equivalent of bridge rectifier. Those are 2 IM by pi. This Im by pi is the in the half wave rectifiers. Im by 2 pi is not answer, and 1.4 pi 1 is also not answer. So the answer is A. So here we have the explanation also for that one. Average DC current is the average current in the output of the rectifier. For a bridge full wave rectifier, if a sinusoidal input is given, output will contain only one half cycle repeatedly. So average current will be twice as half wave rectifier. So Im by pi half wave rectifier law. So now you are in the bridge rectifier, you will get the twice of that means 2 Im by pi. The ripple factor of bridge full wave rectifier is, this question is up. So ripple factor of full wave bridge rectifier is 0.482, and if the line frequency is 50 Hz, then the output frequency of the bridge rectifier is 2f, that is 100. So the bridge rectifier is preferred to an ordinary two diode full wave rectifiers. Ordinary two diode full wave rectifier because it needs much smaller transformer for the same output. No center tap is required. Less peak inverse volt rating per diode. All the above. So in the bridge rectifiers, all these are we are considering. No need, it needs a much smaller transform for the same out. No need of center tap and no center tap is required and less peak inverse voltage. So answer is all the above. So thank you. This is our today's lectures and later we will discuss the later next what is our topic in the center tap after three types of the rectifiers is completed. Now we have completed oscillator rectifier, center tap and full wave rectifier. So in the regulated power supply, so next what is our topic in this diagram, that is filters. So we have to discuss about the filters in our next lecture. Okay, thank you.